The LOR is a very important part of your ISB application, though it is a very underrated part of an application strategy for most of the applicants. They don't focus on the LOR very properly and don't even spend the right time to get into a discussion with their recommenders. Why we take it up as a question to address in this discussion is, first, because ISB does value your recommendation. They do get into the details of what your recommender has to say about you, and they definitely do keep in mind who you have received your recommendation from. First things first, don't worry about who you are getting your recommendation from, at least in terms of what their designation is. So getting it from the HOD or the top boss or an international client, because it will just show well on your application form, or you want to boast about a certain interaction, is not the right way of choosing your recommender. So choose a recommender who can speak about your work and contribution. The designation is not that important. Why the LOR is again a part of a strategy is because of one more reason, that it is not always feasible to ask your direct boss for a recommendation for your MBA application, for reasons most obvious. In this case, you can very well choose from other options like a senior colleague, a client, a supervisor, from a volunteer position, or from other previous organization or a project that you were a part of, if you are not comfortable in asking your direct boss for a reference letter. In the case of entrepreneurs and applicants with a family business background, you can choose your evaluators from your clients, your bankers, your investors, business partners, or even your suppliers. When we discussed the timeline initially, we had kept around a month for the letter of recommendation. It is very important to discuss, with the person whom you have chosen as your recommender well in time. Give them time to recollect the incidents, to understand what you are getting into, understand your aspirations, and then provide their inputs on the letter of recommendation, just for the value that it has in the final evaluation. You should give it ample thought, ample time, and give them time as well to be able to give them their best inputs. We have seen that usually people will focus a lot on the GMAT. The second comes the essays. The third comes the letter of recommendation. Usually they will just go in 5 or 7 days before the application deadline, ask the recommender that we need one and why you should get one. The recommender also is happy to help you in that, but again, is it the best way to get the best inputs from them? Probably that deserves some thought.